Historically, Trump has done well with uneducated white men.
I love the poorly educated.
But that lead, like many things in Tiny Finger's life, well, it's, getting smaller.
I mean, shrinkage.
Yes. Significant shrinkage.
The polls are tight, but underneath the polls is a palpable sense of panic and despair for man titties. And he can feel it slipping away, or should I say shrinking.
When we talk about Donald Trump, from the beginning of Donald Trump as a political figure, non-college white voters who did not go to college have been one of his key demographics.
It's been a key demographic for him. It's been his base. But in fact, it's moving a little bit away from him. So this is Trump's margin with non-college white voters. Unlike most voting blocks, this group is not moving towards him. It's actually moving slightly away. So you go back 8 years ago, he won him by 33. You go back 4 years ago, he won him by 31. Now what we look is we see that in the latest average of polls, he's only up by 27. Now that may not seem like a lot, but given that we're seeing these double-digit gains, say, among black voters or among Hispanic voters in some of the polls, the fact that we're seeing this core group of supporters actually moving away from him, not just off of the 2016 baseline, but the 2020 baseline as well, I think that's a rather interesting development.
Shrinkage, as Donald Trump might say, based on what he said the last few days. Why could even a small difference with this group matter?
Why can a small difference with this group matter? Because look at what percentage of the electorate that they make up. So we can look nationally, right? Look at this. Non-college white voters make up 40% of the electorate. That's more than college whites at 29%. All other groups, voters of color at 28%. So this is something that we've seen throughout the board, right? Which is that Donald Trump is making huge gains with groups that make up a smaller percentage of the electorate while he's losing a little bit. But these groups that he's losing a little bit of make up a much larger portion of the electorate. But more than that, we're talking about the US of A where they make up 40%. Why don't you go to those key Great Lake battleground states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin? They have outsized import in those Great Lake battleground states. Non-college white voters, look at this. They make up the slim majority of voters at 51%, way more than college whites at 30%, way more than all other voters at 16%. So if you're seeing movement in the Great Lake battleground states among non-college whites, that could be a very big development, John.
Are we seeing movement in the battleground states among non-college whites?
Nothing quite like a leading question, my dear friend. Yes, we are. We're seeing the same pattern in the Great Lake battleground states that we're seeing nationally. That is small movement among non-college white voters. Again, you see it back in 2016, Donald Trump won him by 25. You see a small movement in 2020, Donald Trump winning him by 22. And look at that, what we are today. Again, Trump is ahead, but his margins are smaller. And when you have a shrinking margin for Donald Trump among his core group that makes up the majority of voters, it can make up for big shifts among smaller groups of the electorate. And this is why Kamala Harris is still in the ball game right now. It's because even though she's losing big league, she's losing big league among groups that make up a small portion of the electorate, and she's making it up among groups that make up a big portion of the electorate, even if the movements are small. But it's clear here.
That is very interesting. That is a clear downward slope in these key states among his key demographic. And if I can,
yes,
for a second. Again, as you're looking here, again, this is where Donald Trump has seen gains, but it's the smallest group in these top two.
That's exactly right.
Trump losing his base of angry white middle-aged men shouldn't be surprising because his attitude towards them has been demeaning on every level. Just listen.
Get your fat husband off the couch. Get that fat pig off the couch. Tell him to go and vote for Trump. He's going to save our country.
What's happening now, though, is a surge in the distrust of a man who lies repeatedly, and even when he's caught lying, lies more.
So when I return to the White House, we will stop the plunder, rape, slaughter, and destruction of our American suburbs.
And while men in America without a college education might not have a handle on calculus, they can add up Trump's lies and begin to smell Donnie Diaper's long and sorry grift. And at the heart of that con is Trump's words and actions regarding America's men and women who served. You, of course, remember this.
The Atlantic magazine reporting tonight that back in 2018, President Trump called fallen U.S. soldiers losers and suckers for getting killed in action.
One thing Trump is not talking about, new blistering revelations from his former chief of staff, John Kelly. In a statement to CNN, Kelly confirms long-standing allegations that Trump called prisoners of war suckers. Trump is said to have made the remark at Arlington National Cemetery on Memorial Day. I don't get it. What was in it for them? Before laying flowers on the grave of Kelly's son, who was killed in action in Afghanistan. Kelly also says Trump did not want to be seen with soldiers who were wounded in battle because it doesn't look good for me.
Could this be one of the reasons behind the 20% drop in support of Trump from uneducated white men? Here's another veteran, Senator Mark Kelly, confronting one of Trump's supporters, also a vet.
Senator Kelly.
I'm a veteran. Sir. You're a veteran. Donald Trump loves veterans.
Donald Trump has said that 1,800 Marines that died in Bellawood in World War I were a bunch of suckers, or buried World War I veterans were losers. This is a guy who called John McCain a loser because he was captured. But Donald Trump doesn't get us. But you're a veteran, I'm a veteran. He doesn't understand us. You know, Donald Trump thinks we were tricked into serving in the military. He puts everybody in two categories. You're either the con man or you're the person being conned. And he thinks we were somehow conned from being in the military. When you served in Iraq, did you ever feel like somebody tricked you?
No, I love my country.
Yeah, me too. You know, and this is the first time in history that we could possibly put a guy in the White House who has a total lack of respect for our service.
But so all that stuff you said is true?
Or could Trump's shrinking base be because of stunts like Mantitty's visit to a closed McDonald's and pretending like he's worked a day in his life?
I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
Look at that. Look at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President.
It's been his base. But in fact, it's moving a little bit away from him.
Or maybe the reason these middle-aged, uneducated Trump supporters sense a little Freudian weirdness surrounding Captain Wafflecock. I mean, he does like to talk about penises.
And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee.
This is a guy that was all man. This man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say it.
I mean, come on, guys don't talk like that. When's the last time you said to your friend, so how's your penis doing? And you think Trump would know better, because if there's a person who's seen Trump's shortcomings, it's this woman.
Why did you body shame him? Why did you do that? And that's not something I would normally do. You know what I mean? I only did it because he called me a liar. Hey, Mr. Trump, all you have to do to prove I'm lying right now, drop your pants.
At the end of the day, it's sinking into these American men that any guy who needs to post and spread images like this AI photo might have deeper underlying issues. These middle-aged white guys may not be educated, but they're not all stupid. I mean, Trump spray paints himself orange, spends an hour a day on his hair, he's obese and he cheats at golf, and he flirts with 12-year-old girls.
ET discovered this footage in our archive, which we provided to CBS News.
Soon. Thursday night. You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
It took some time, but maybe that base is shrinking after all.
Significant shrinkage.
While it's not that kind of shrinking, Stormy Daniels and Sigmund Freud both see the metaphors. Although consistently flaccid, Trump is still a dick.
Damn right.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Tick-tock, mother.
This is not a normal election.
Yes! That is crazy.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
They're eating the dogs. Trust me.
Shut the f*** up, man. Who's with me?
Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong? Yes! Tick-tock,
You're in a lot of trouble, Donna.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.